Hello all, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm here with a tutorial for those who want to learn canvas painting. All the basics you need to know and how I do most of my artworks. If you are a beginner, always experiment on smaller canvases so that you can save on using a lot of paint and materials. I took a 13 to 30 centimeter canvas and decided to do a dhikr, subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Anyone who's familiar with this dua knows the virtues of it, hence I'm not going into detail. Here I have taken a medium-sized canvas, some acrylic paints, a few paint brushes, a palette knife, a water sprayer, a pencil, eraser, ruler and a piece of paper. Make sure you have all of these before you start. The acrylic paints that I have used here are black, titanium white, brown, yellow ochre, rose sienna and golden. The names are all written down so that it's easy for you to take note. First of all, I have taken 5:2 ratio of titanium white and brown. I haven't mixed the paints well because I wanted some textures and shades of brown and mixed colors on the canvas. The next thing that I always do is I take a water sprayer and spray the canvas with some water so that it stays moist and the paints can blend well. You can either dip the paintbrush in water before you start painting or you can paint right away. I dipped my paintbrush in water and I started painting. Always start painting from one end to the other. You don't paint midway. If you are planning to do a plain background, you will have marks of your paintbrush on the canvas. It won't look good. But here, since I'm looking for some textures, I don't mind having some marks on the canvas, so I'm just painting from here and there. If you're planning to do a plain background, make sure that you start from one end and end on the other. Putting your creativity on the canvas, there are no specific rules. Paint until you are satisfied with the final result. Unlike oil paints, acrylic paints dry quickly, so if you are a beginner or you're experimenting with colors, I think you should start with acrylics rather than oil paints. Once I finished the background, I felt like it was too plain, so I decided to take a palette knife and some gold acrylic paint and started giving it some more textures. So what I did here is I took the palette knife and using some acrylic gold paint, I gave some long vertical strokes on the canvas. Now give it at least 3 to 4 hours of drying time, because for instance you're painting on it, you're drawing something with pencil on it before the paint has dried. If there is a mistake, you're erasing it, the paint will start to lift up. Once the painting has been done and then there is a small mistake, you can't redo it. It will be completely messy. So have patience. After every step, give it some time, let it dry, then go for the next step. After around 3 hours, I sat for the calligraphy. The canvas is completely dried now. Since this is not any sort of specific calligraphic font, I'm not showing you how I've done it because there is no specific way to do it. This is a free hand calligraphy. Also, I wanted this old imperfect color on it. I decided to dilute the black paint and use an old calligraphy column to write on it. So I'm trying to get this imperfect writing on it. Like I mentioned earlier, Your creativity has no rules. So if you have a content in your mind and you're happy with it, just go for it. And you only stop if you're happy with the result. As you can see, the paint is not at all opaque. This is exactly how I wanted it. So I'm stopping here with the calligraphy and I'm moving on to the painting. Now, before starting any drawing works, I take proper measurements on a piece of paper. And once I'm satisfied with it, only then I'll transfer it onto the canvas. I kept the canvas to dry overnight. This is actually the next day. I'm taking a ruler and a pencil, and I already have my paper with all the measurements. I'm starting to transfer it onto the canvas. The details on the kiswa or the black cloth on the Kaaba is very intricate, so it's difficult to transfer it onto a smaller canvas. I wanted to have some details of it, so I am referring to an original photograph. After finishing the pencil drawings, I took a thin masking tape and stuck it along the long edges of the Kaaba and started painting it with black. Since both the Kaaba and the calligraphy are in black, I diluted the paint with more water and painted very lightly around the calligraphy. I gave the entire painting an hour to dry. I took an equal ratio of yellow ochre and rose sienna to paint on the golden detailings. After the paint dried, I applied golden acrylic paint on top. There is nothing more satisfying for me like seeing my finished artwork, because it is not in the size of a canvas or a piece of paper or a slice of wood, but it is in the time, energy, effort and love you put behind creating something out of it. I hope you too find your inner passion and grow into it. I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, like, comment and share.